Gardner Minshew has been named the Week 1 starter for the Las Vegas Raiders. The 2-month battle between him and Aiden O'Connell has finally ended, and Antonio Pierce named Gardner the starter for Week 1. I'm going to be sharing my analysis on whether the Raiders made the correct decision. Let's talk about what Minshew does well. Minshew has moxie. There are plays on tape where Minshew shows he can take a hit. He can stand in the pocket, keep his eyes down the field, and make plays. It takes a lot of experience to develop this specific trait. So let's take a look at this play against the Vikings. Minshew takes the snap, play action, and hits DJ Turner across the middle of the field for a touchdown. Let's take a look at from this angle. Minshew does a great job. He takes the snap under center, goes play action, sets his feet, and look at the rusher on his face on the right side. The tight end is trying to hold up, but there's a rusher right in Minshew's grill. He's not drifting, he's not fading away, just a little flick to Turner coming across the field for a touchdown. These are the kinds of plays that Minshew can make. Guy in his face, look at the flick. Good ball, touchdown. Here's another play from last year against the Steelers. So Minshew takes the snap in shotgun. The Steelers send a delay blitz. There's going to be a free rusher in Minshew's face. Look at when Minshew decides to throw this ball. The wide receiver isn't out of his break yet, and there's a defender draped all over him. Middle of the field, safety is coming down, crashing hard, and look where the ball is. He knows he's going to take a hit, and that ball placement was perfect. Let's take a look at it from another angle. Minshew takes the snap here. Defender comes, free rusher. Boom. Perfect pass. Gardner also has a very capable ability of extending plays and going off script. He could buy time with his legs, which could benefit longer developing routes in Luke Getsy's scheme. Against the Vikings in the preseason, he has this play where he recognizes that the mesh concept is a little cluttered. So he decides to just pick up a first down with his legs. Let's look at it from this angle. He takes the snap in shotgun, looks at his mesh read, but realizes it's just all over the place. So he just decides to make a play. This was very instinctive of Minshew, and this is a play you wouldn't have gotten out of O'Connell if he was named the starter. So here again, Minshew takes the snap. Look at the mesh underneath. It's just all over the place. There's no one really open, and Minshew just decides to make a play for himself. Bam. Easy first down. Here's another play where Minshew does a great job of escaping the pocket and keeping his eyes down the field. So he takes the snap in shotgun, rushers all over the place, and he rolls right, and he buys time. Look at how he keeps his eyes down the field and lets his receiver work upfield for a massive gain. And if you look at it from another angle, from the front side angle, motions across. Minshew takes the snap. TJ Watt obviously brings pressure. Minshew's keeping his eyes down the field, buying time, rolling right. Look at how he directs traffic right here. Tells Pittman to cut up field. And he makes that throw. That's nice. It's beautiful stuff. So now let's talk about what Minshew struggles with. The film shows that Minshew misses more layups than you'd potentially like out of a starting quarterback. His inconsistent mechanics can lead to a lot of missed throws that should be completed 10 out of 10 times. So here's a play in the preseason where he just completely misses an open drag route. If Minshew can put this ball on the front shoulder of his man, he could potentially turn upfield and get more yards. However, this ball was high and it was behind his receiver, which led to an incompletion. These have got to be converted. These are the easy ones. You got to hit these. Minshew also does struggle within structure in the pocket. He tends to get antsy and rushes through progressions, often bailing when unnecessary. On this specific play, Minshew is hesitant to pull the trigger. As you can see, Minshew takes the snap in shotgun and his initial read is left. However, he quickly bails on that read and instead throws it to the flat, which loses about a half a yard. So let's see what he misses here. So Minshew reads left, but instead of looking at Tucker, who comes open on his slant route right when he breaks, right there, easy read, that's when the ball should be out. But he quickly maneuvers off that read before Tucker even breaks off his route. I'm not sure why that even happened, but he breaks off that read and he hits the flat. These are the types of layups that Minshew tends to miss on. Against the Vikings, there were several plays. He drops back here and rolls right and ends up throwing it out of bounds. But if you look at the play more carefully, drops back here, play action to the running back. I mean, he could step up right here. Glaze is doing an okay job. He gets driven back, but there's a lane to step up. And as you can see near the 25-yard line, Trey Tucker is coming up open. But for whatever reason, Minshew decides to roll right, and the pressure gets there. Instead of stepping up, he throws the ball away due to this pressure. And these are the kinds of plays you'll get with Minshew. He has an inconsistent ability to sort of maneuver the pocket. Let's take a look at another angle. Minshew takes the snap, play action here. I mean, there's a pretty wide open lane to step up right down the middle right here. Right down the middle. And Glaze is getting driven back, but he does an okay job of holding up. But Minshew, for whatever reason, his eyes are focused on this rusher. And instead of stepping up here, making it easier for himself, he decides to roll right. Unnecessary stuff. This play was arguably worse. Minshew takes the snap here, looks left, pretty clean pocket, but rolls right, and his receiver just gets absolutely leveled. So let's go back and let's review it. So when Minshew takes this snap, his initial read is to the left. The pocket is pretty clean. The back does a good job in sort of chipping. And Minshew suddenly looks right. Glaze is doing an okay job on the right side, but Minshew breaks out. And you can see Bryant making his way open in the middle of the field on the 22-yard line. But Minshew's eyes aren't up. He's focused on the duress. So when Minshew actually sees Bryant, it's late. And Bryant just gets the worst of it here. I mean, he gets leveled. We can't afford to have plays like this. We can't afford to lose guys because our QB just throws a hospital ball. He had Bryant earlier if he remained calm in the pocket, but that was not the case. I mean, look at Minshew's eyes here when he's breaking contain. His eyes aren't upfield. He's just focused on the rusher when Bryant comes open down low. And once he throws it to Bryant here, I mean, we can't have that. We've gone over some good and bad. So did the Raiders make the correct decision in naming Gardner the Week 1 starter? I think if you factor everything into account, schedule, ability, and experience, I think overall the Raiders made the correct decision. Gardner has enough playmaking upside to create plays when things break down. Again, as the film shows, this could come back and bite them, especially when Gardner works out of structure that should be executed. But if you look at the start of the Raiders' schedule, you have some pretty tough defensive matchups. You have the Chargers D-line, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Browns. So you're going to need a quarterback that can extend plays, that can move, or you're just a sitting duck in the pocket. You have to have someone who can create off schedule because you don't know what you're going to get from your O-line this year. Colton Miller is still dealing with a shoulder injury. He hasn't practiced all camp. And Jackson Powers-Johnson just came off the PUP list and hasn't practiced all of camp. So you're looking at two potential starters missing from the left side of your O-line. You need someone who can move. And the Raiders cannot afford a slow start. In the middle of the season, we play the Chiefs twice, the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Rams. So getting off to a slow start is not an option. And there you have it, Minshew Mania in 2024. Let's see where he can take us.